So I finally got a new laptop, and good news, it's a lot more up to date than my old one. So that's exciting. Um, okay, first off, before I do my final blog entry, I just wanted to tell you thank you. This semester was probably one of my most difficult. I'm taking 20 hours. I have a part time job that I pretty much work almost every day, if not mostly on the weekends. Um, and I thought it was gonna be tough. Like I anticipated a lot of stress, and school was stressful, but outside factors, my godmother dying, my laptop getting stolen, being pushed back on schoolwork, it was really tough. And I have to say that two of the things, besides family and friend support, of course, two things that I always look forward to was my yoga class because I didn't have to think about anything really schoolwork wise. It was just a time to relax. And our class, I know I'm not a very vocal I'm more of an observer. I like watching people and hearing people rather than talking about myself or things like that. And your class, it taught me so much. I thought that I knew a lot about equality or how to treat people, but this class, I looked forward to it. It was calming. It was comfortable. It was a safe place. And the compassion you showed in your emails and videos and concern for us, it's not something that a lot of professors do, and I just wanted to say thank you for that because our class, it was just something that I know I'll take with me from here on out. And so I just wanted to take a second to tell you thank you. Um, Sorry, I probably should have done that at the end. But anyways, I'm responding to the Muslim Buddhist perspective presentations. This was actually a group that I had initially planned to be a part of for this project, because for a class I have taken world religions before, and that was a pretty interesting class, and I kind of took it to try and, I guess, learn about other religions in hopes of finding my way to what I believe at one point. And I took that about 2 years ago, maybe 2 summers ago. And so that's when I had first been exposed to Muslim Buddhist religions, and I found them extremely interesting. Their teachings and uh, just their practices and what they believe their gods did, and how to reach nirvana or just salvation as a whole. I found it extremely interesting, and it was more self focused and independently focused, I guess. And that was one thing that the group presented us with, and that I shared with the little groups that we ended up getting into. That my perspective on those cultures was it's your own independent journey instead of a community of religion. And I liked that aspect because one thing I have problems with, I guess, with Catholicism is how some people use that to justify prejudices that they have. And at least from what I've learned and read and what they presented, that these two religions or cultures don't have those outlooks. It's a personal journey, and the concept of reincarnation and nirvana, it's just extremely interesting to me. And meditation, which is something that I have practiced before in my yoga class, and I learned it from another class or I think my freshman year, and I have been able to achieve it once based off of the checklist of knowing that you did successfully meditate, and it's a calming feeling. As I'm sure every college student's life is hectic, and it's nice to get that mental break. Um, what else did they talk? Yeah, I think those are two. I wasn't really familiar with the Muslim culture as a whole, um, except for a few guest speakers that were in that world religions class, and then also the presentations. And it just confirmed that, I guess, the outlook I had on Muslim culture as a whole before. I know since the events that have taken place in America by some radical Muslims, there's a few biases, I guess, or prejudices against them. And even with all those opinions and stories or things that have happened, even when I was younger, I don't think I applied them or used them to I guess, I'm sorry, I'm losing words. I never applied them or used them in my life. I've always seen people for who they are and how they treat me, not for um, things that their culture, ethnicity, or religion are affiliated with in a negative light. So it was just interesting to learn more about that culture as a whole. Um, Again, I admire for that culture and other cultures. I admire the dedication and I guess persistence of their practices. You know, like daily scheduled prayers for this time and this time, and the 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 journey that they have to make at some point. I found that very interesting, and you don't, or at least I'm not aware of other religions that have that task to be completed. It's more for like Catholicism. It's more like learnings and tests, if you will, in order to obtain was it baptism or confirmation or communion or things like that. And so it was just an interesting dynamic, difference, I guess. So yes, and then Buddhist, I've always found that interesting. That for that class, I had to read Siddhartha, which was about Buddha, which I could not put down that book. I could not for the life of me, I could not put that book down. And it was just so interesting, his journey and the concept of nothing materialistic is really important, and that we have to accept death and the negative that comes with life. And once we reach that acceptance, we'll reach nirvana. That life is life, things happen, things change, and that nothing is guaranteed and nothing is permanent. And I really, really like that concept. Like again, I enjoyed learning more about these two religions because it's a lot different, and I don't think a lot of people are aware of what these two, and as I'm sure as many other religions, are about. And so I really, really enjoyed these two presentations and the practices or activities that the two groups had.